Spanish tiles have a long history going back hundreds of years. Imagine some tiles you see today might be as old as your grandparents or even older. Unlike many things you see today, many Spanish tiles are still made by hand. This means each tile is unique, just like you. Spanish tiles often have bright colors and bold patterns. These patterns can tell stories, like pictures without words. Some common designs include geometric shapes like circles, squares, and triangles. There might even be images that look like flowers or animals. And Spanish tiles just aren't for floors. They can be used for countertops, even stairs, adding a pop of color and design to any space. Let's get started on creating our own Spanish tile radial balance. Beginning with the end in mind, we're going to create a printmaking experience very similar to the look of our Spanish tiles. So let's begin. There's an idea sheet that might be helpful. I grabbed a scrap sheet of construction paper, a scrap piece of paper in the same size as my tile because I want to plan it out and make sure the design is what I like. If I want to make any changes or any kind of design differences or make any changes, I want to do that now before I start making my printmaking plate. So feel free to use the idea sheet as inspiration, but also you can add your own ideas as well. Okay, now that I've got my idea on there, I'm going to grab a little bit of tape and tape it together so that when I'm drawing and tracing it onto my styrofoam print plate, it doesn't move and I have my design exactly the way it was on my sketch. So when I'm pressing down with my pencil this time, you can see that I am pressing a lot harder on my paper. I am pressing so hard that sometimes my sketch, my drawing is starting to rip and tear because I am pressing so hard into the paper and into the styrofoam, as you can see here. Please do this over all of your shapes and designs on your Spanish tile. Pressing down hard enough so that it not only goes through the paper but into your styrofoam. Now I'll take it off and you can see your design in your styrofoam. I'm going to go over it one more time with my pencil to make sure that the lines, shapes, and designs are put into my styrofoam more deeper into the styrofoam so that my design shows up on paper. Please do not skip this step, go over it again, or feel free to add any of your own designs as well, or add any changes to your paper. I'm making some of my shapes filled in, so when I fill it in with pencil, that means that space will be left white when it makes a print. The more designs that you have into your paper, the more it will be repeated. So you can see I'm filling that in. That means my spaces will be left white. Now let's go into marking it with marker. I am taking my marker and going over my styrofoam designs and planning out what colors I want to go where. Just like you started on a scrap piece of paper to practice your design, please use markers and practice your design on scratch paper in case you want to change any of your colors or make any changes to your designs. You might also notice that when I am using my marker right now, I am using the thick side of the marker. I am holding my marker at an angle. I am not using the fine tip at the point of the marker, but instead using my markers on the side to get a lot of marker coverage, coloring my print plate a lot faster. Again, use the side of your marker to get more color on the page at a quicker time. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and grab some scratch paper now and give this a try. I'm going to wet a sponge with water and put that on paper, and then I am going to smear that onto my practice piece. As I remove it, there's my design. Looking at my first image, I decided I would like to use darker colors on the top where the pink was. So I liked the other colors. I thought that they were bright enough and bold enough and colorful enough that I'm going to keep majority of the colors the same. I just wanted to use some darker colors into my project too. Reflecting back on my work, maybe I would have used a little bit more repetition of color with some more purple into my project, but I was pretty pleased with the way this turned out. Let's watch how I got it started. There, I think I'm gonna like these colors a lot better. Okay, just like I did on my practice paper, I am now going to go onto my project paper. This paper is going to be a lot thicker, and I also want to prep it by folding it into 4 sections. Just like on my practice, I'm following the same steps. I love the way this works. I sped it up, obviously, quite a bit so you can see the repetition of this project. Using my markers, color the whole printing plate, get my paper wet, and stick that down. I like to take a towel to rub the back side when I make my print to ensure a good color onto the paper, that I didn't leave the corners out. A lot of kids make a good print with the inside part of their print plate. Please focus on the edges as well when you create your marker design for your prints. You'll also notice that I'm constantly using the same colors over and over, and the arrow helped me realize which part goes to the center. Here are some examples. This was super fun. I hope you have fun creating your own Spanish tile design.